Right, I think this is recording and I think we're live. Let me check that out. Yeah, well, it seems like we are live. Let me update the title just in case anybody goes into the stream. Yes, stream language English. Yes, and then I have let viewers know your stream was previously recorded. No. Okay. This is live. Let me get the this so I can move it into the other monitor, and then yep, that's pretty much it. Okay. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some trouble here. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what am I gonna do for this video slash stream slash whatever? Planning on doing some minor fixes on this project, and then I think I'm gonna, say it's done. Of course, I would like to fix the whole skipping an algorithm thing, but I have no idea why that is happening. So yeah, one thing that I want to do for sure is the volume. Where's this? This is towards the end. Well, not really. Hold on, I'm losing my mind. Okay, here it is. Access my volume. Okay, so my volume has to be what? My volume string. Here it is. The string. So given this is what? Could I say static cast to int? This whole thing. Okay, that looks better now. And then technically, if it's an int, then it could not have decimals. But I don't want to limit the amount of decimals that appears on this part. Okay, I mean, I'm gonna give it a try nonetheless, but let me ask Gemini, actually. I'm sure he can give me a pretty clear answer. That's what was, let's repeat that CPP, and then I have to go into this part. Okay, delay. I have a function in SDL3 to put some text on the screen, and here is one of the strings that I use for that. I want to limit the amount of decimals that this float uses to just 2 or even 1. Hopefully I made myself clear with that. Required for STD fix and set position. Stream. What the hell? Still delay, which is a this and then this. Okay, then STD stream. Delay, STD fixed, set precision to this array dot sort delay get duration. Yes, okay. Alright, so this should be enough. Yep. What happens if I change this to 1? Right, change this to 1. Great. Then I guess I can do the same thing for this thing right here, right? It's a bit of a like a easier fix, but yeah. STD string, then yeah, you just cast it to an int because I don't really care about decimals in the whole volume thing. Like it's just what it has to be. Okay, so I'm thinking about something. What if I wanted to pause the algorithm itself? I mean, I guess I would have to pause only the logic thread, like the sorting thread. Which would be kind of crazy because this is what I thought about. I don't know if I already have it. No. So what I thought about is, since I have already kind of like a signal handler, I don't know how to say that. And here, you know, I say, you know, if you receive this signal, then you pretty much just kill yourself, right? But that's what you do. You exit, okay? Twitch, I didn't mean to, you know, say anything crazy like that. But I could do another one where instead of, you know, exiting the thread, therefore killing the thread, I could have something where it, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the microphone. Something like thread sleep signal, something like that, right? And then I could do signal so that it's compatible with the whole signal function. And then this could be something like std this thread sleep 4, and then whatever. I have to chrono milliseconds 500. I think that's how you do it. Yeah. So like I sleep over half a second, right? But this could be like while, you know, some sort of thing is received, right? So wow, I don't know, I have like bowl here, bowl sleep equals false. Or definition of sleep, what do you mean? Yeah, okay. Sleep, I don't know, trigger, right? So while sleep trigger, then, you know, whoops, you did this, right? But then what I'm thinking is like, how do I, you know, resume this? It's like I have a signal where, you know, I have to say, okay, sleep trigger equals sleep trigger, right? This means that if it's false, then it'll be true, and if it's true, then it'll be false. But I don't know how to do this. Like, will this work if I like do it again? You know, if I press space, then it would send a signal to this thing, right? Like to the thread, through something like kill, you know, kill sig user 2, and then thread sleep sig, right? Not much in function to call for call to kill. Kind of crazy maybe because this is above the counting function. Anyways, that's what I thought about. I have no idea if it'll work. Let me get rid of this since I don't need it. I can have this, and then I can go here. Okay, so I don't have it in the header file. Good. That is good. So what can I do then? I mean, I guess I can give this a try, you know? So instead of skipping this thing, I could slip it, you know? That's what I could do. Where's this? Here. So instead of skipping an algorithm, all I could do is just slip, you know? So it would be kill. Damn, how do I call that thing? Skip algorithm. Where are you? You are right here. Okay, great. So I guess I would have to do the same thing that I did on the main. Okay. So it would be something like kill, get PID, and then sig user 2. Okay, and then in here I would have to also, damn, a big ass like wasp, I think it was, just flew through my window. Anyways, okay, so I would have to do this, right? With the user 2 signal. And then that's pretty much it, no? And then in here, I would have to do the same thing. Thread, thread sleep sig. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Second block set. Okay. That should be it, right? So instead of doing that, instead of just killing this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and comment this. Instead, I'm gonna say std cout sleep trigger. That's way too many G's. Received. Value of pull, value of trigger, and then this would be sleep trigger, and then and that. Okay, so let's see how that one would work. Let's see if that one first works. Okay. So that seems to work. Great. So now if I come in here and I say, oh, this is like this, would you work as well? Like, would you actually freeze? Huh. Done sorting. What? What? You're supposed to keep on going. Like, what? What are you talking about? Okay, that made no sense. Like, no sense whatsoever. Okay, so let's say let's say I have a thread in my program that is in charge of some logic thing, right? And then the main thread of the program is in charge of actually rendering what the thread does. I want a function that sleeps the thread for forever until forever when a trigger is received and wakes up when that same trigger is received. Here is what I came up with. Cat source sorting. Okay, so here's what I came up with. I have this thing in here, signal, boom, and then I also have this little dribble false, which is on top of all these things. Right. The current approach for sleeping and waking of a thread has some potential issues and isn't the most robust or recommended way to handle inter-thread communication in C++. Can be tricky because signals are primarily set for process level events, not fine-grained thread control. Because you're going to tell me to can be used with threads. Their behavior can be complex and platform dependent. Busy waiting the inside you have a while slip trigger loop continuously call. Better approach using condition variables. Much more idiomatic and safer way to pass and resume a thread in C++ is by using a string condition in conjunction with a mutex. This pattern is specifically designed for inter-thread communication. So I have a is passed true. Logic thread function. While true, and then I do this. What the hell is this? Like, see, like you're overcomplicating things. This makes no sense. Acquire log to modify is passed. Well, I guess since I'm calling this here, no, but that wouldn't make sense. No. Toggle the past state. Not really convinced by this, you know. Using std_musx and std condition variable is the standard safest and most efficient way to manage thread synchronization and communication in C++. It avoids the complexities and potential pitfalls of using OS signals for this purpose and prevents busy waiting, leading to a more performant and reliable application. Cause a thread in C++. Start my thread. Start running through the thread std thread is while thread running get data. This is the classical example for the use of a conditional variable. You wait on a mutex and notify thread when a certain condition is fulfilled. This way you don't need to allocate a new thread when you need one. So you do have this as well. Data is ready. What the fuck is this? See, I'm not on this level yet. Cut source. This is a function that is going to be executed through a thread. Could the solution that you gave me work with this? Class array get size. What are you? Whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, chill out. Function to toggle the pass state. Call from your main rendering thread. So you get the log guard, then you log G is paused equals G is paused, okay, then you notify one. Notify the next running thread. You have this. Oh fuck no. Why would you have this? No wait, this is exactly what I don't want. Like I don't want to freaking have to change the algorithm itself. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid here. Because then I can run into some issues when implementing other algorithms, which is exactly what I wanted to avoid. Toggle short thread plus. I'm gonna try this out, see if it works as I intended it to work. Okay, so in here, I'm gonna have to, let's get rid of all this thing, get rid of this. I guess I could do kind of the, I don't know. I don't know if I could do the same thing for skipping the array, okay, so let's just do void toggles for thread pause. Thread pause. Okay, so you don't need any of these things. Where do I have my things? Okay, so these are global variables. All right. Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to include, you know, mutex. Okay, then I'm gonna have a lock guard condition variable. Okay. So then in here I have to do what? std lock guard for std mutex, and then log the mutex, log g mutex. Okay. Okay, and then g dot notify. Okay. So then in here, that's all I have to do actually. So then in bubble short, let's say bubble short, right? Sorry, std mutex, then log g mutex, right? Wait, log whatever this thing is, and then return technically that's it, right? So now if I wanted to do this, then I would have to put it in here. That's what I'm thinking, I don't know. Since I'm including this, I guess I could do this, come here and then say stern do I not have mutex included? Turns out I don't. Okay, so then if I press space, I should do in here. I should call toggle sort thread pass. That's what I should do. Toggle sort thread pass. That's what I have to use. Okay. Son of a bitch, it works. It works, bro. Come on. I didn't want it to work because I didn't want to use the solution. Fuck. this is paused, I guess I can change the volume, right? Yes. But it's not rendering. Okay, it doesn't work on this one because it's not implemented. Yeah, makes sense. Could I do something like, right as I have this in here, could I do something like void, check condition, right? And this is quite literally this. Boom. So yeah, I can just wrap this in a function. Instead of doing this, I can just say check condition. Right, that should make it work. Whoa, what happened? Free invalid size. Yo, what happened? Anyways. Okay, well, let me then get rid of this. I don't know what I just got rid of. What is this? Something like that. Yeah, I could get rid of this as well. It's not necessary anymore. Okay, so check condition then in whatever this is, right? This is cocktail, so sure. How should I do it? Like, how should I, should I put it in here? Check condition. Would this work? Not really. Okay. Then it's kind of like crash again, right? Yeah. Okay. So not in here for sure. The thing is, I have 2 for loops, right? Which is like, should I put it twice? I guess. I don't know, should I put it only once? Or what should I put in here? Make. Okay. So that one is down there. Searching short, I think it's pretty. I don't know. Where should I put this? Maybe here? Maybe not. Okay, it works. It's also gonna crash, right? Yeah. I do wanna do something. Look something up, which is, what is a conditional var? I want to see the definition of conditional variable. What is this? Whoa. Synchronization primitive used with mutex to block one or more threads until another thread both modifies a shared variable, the condition, and notifies the condition variable. Okay, so this is kind of the standard of how to, block a thread. I thought it was just like some workaround, but no, it looks like it is the actual way of doing this. Okay, the thread that intends to modify the shared variable must acquire a mutex, typically via a log of course. Modify the shared variable with the log its own. Call notify1 or notify alt on the std condition variable. What is the difference between this? Like, if any threads are waiting on this, calling notify1 unblocks one of the waiting threads. What's the condition of what thread is actually being unblocked here? The effects of notify1 / notify all and each of three atomic parts of wait, wait for, wait until. So how do you decide which thread is unblocked if you only unblock one? And then this one, like I said, it blocks all threads currently waiting for this. This, I'm guessing, since this is, I notify one here, right? And then in here, in check condition, I am waiting, which, you know, I guess it's all threads that are waiting on the conditional variable, I guess. Whoa. I guess. The notifying thread does not need to hold the log in the same mutex as the one held by the waiting threads. Whoa. I don't know why, but my mic was glitching, I think, on the OBS. Anyways. Run this code. Wait, can I run this code? Hello? This doesn't do anything. What are you talking about? Anyways. Okay. Selection short, insertion short is also done. But then I don't know how to do this. If low is less than this, then what should I do? Should I put it in here? Check condition. I've not done selection short. So selection short is not done. Where is selection short? It is not done. Okay, so I, for some reason, skipped this one. So I guess I have to do this. Yep. It looks like you're playing Call of Duty or some shit. Add a pause function on every algorithm using a conditional variable and mutex, as well as a bool to pause the thread. Turns out that's the way to do it. Okay. I'm gonna ask another question. Is there a similar way of doing this so that instead of blocking the thread, it just kills, finishes the thread? Without its cooperation, is generally considered unsafe and strongly discouraged in C++ and most modern threading models. Here's why and the proper ways to achieve graceful termination. Why killing a thread is bad and not possible with the STD thread. Resource leaks, data corruption. No STD terminate, and like some older threading APIs, STD threading C++ does not provide a direct terminate or kill method to promote safe concurrent program. If you destroy an STD thread object that is still joinable, meaning its underlying thread is still running, it's called for the entire program, which is usually not what you want. Yep. There are two primary ways to achieve this. Using STD atomic bool, this is the most common and simplest approach for graceful termination. Using STD JThread, what the hell, stop token. This is a modern, more convenient and built-in way to handle comparative cancellation, but requires C++ or later. How can I check which C++ version I have? Oh, I think I can check it out here. Right? Okay, so I could do 20. Oops, not what I wanted. What the hell just happened, bro? Oh, what? I got rid of check condition in here. Okay. Comparative cancellation with STD atomic bool. This is very similar to the password mechanism, but instead of waiting, the thread simply exits its loop. Okay, initially false, threads run. Makes sense. Okay, you do whatever you have to do then, and then if G stops short thread download, you stop atomic read, then you return. You exit the function which terminates the thread. So what should I do then? Okay, so how do you change this from the request store thread? Okay, you then store true. Okay, it's not that hard. I could do something like this, right? Let me check. So I could have in here a atomic bool. I will need the atomic library to have. Okay. Atomic. Okay, and then this is in sort view, which is I guess I do need it since I'm going to be triggering from this part of the code. Okay. Boom, and I'm gonna need a STD atomic bool. Yeah. G stopped. It's initially false, and then in here I should have something like check condition. Could I do instead of return on the thread, could I use thread exit? To exit with STD thread. I don't want to do that though. That's the thing. I don't want to do. I don't want to do. Stick with return or STD thread request though. Is the correct and safe way to terminate a thread execution gracefully. Fuck. But this just messes everything up. Having my doubts with this method, honestly. Not so confident in it. Well, this, I guess then I would need something like this, right? And then string and then on skip algorithm here. Instead of doing this, I should do something else, which is dot store true, right? not really calling the function, so it's not like it's gonna be able to skip, you know. So what was the escape, whatever. Enter? No. Escape box, tab. No, keypad, no. I own enter. Just enter. Help. I mean, I guess I could do like this, right? Like this arrow to kind of go there. So this is up, so this would be what, right? Okay. That didn't go as planned. Okay, so what happened? Damn. Wait, dude. Oh shit, yo, sorry, I didn't see your message. Oh my god. Wait, when was this? 6 minutes. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at trap. What's up? What are you working on? I'm working on a sorting algorithm visualizer. That's what I'm working on. Let me tell you. So this is the main inspiration that no problem. You can work certified. No, don't worry, bro. This is the reason why I stream. So people can come in the chat and ask questions and make this whole thing a bit more entertaining. So I initially started watching these videos and I thought, this looks so cool, at that time I started to kind of work a little bit with SDO to do some like little projects that I have in here, like some Arkanoid and some like small games. And then I thought, how hard can this be? How hard can replicate this whole thing be? And so I did initially a version which wasn't really that good. This one, which let me actually show you. C projects and then so this is the first version that I did. Which it kind of does the whole thing. Which the visual part is good. The problem was the audio wasn't really getting the whole effect that I wanted from this kind of videos, which is the cool part of it, right? And so I went ahead and started looking at the source code of this project, which was done 2014, so 11 years ago, right? So I took a look at the original repo, and then I started to think, how can I do this? This uses, I think, SDO2, and since SDO3 released, I was like, well, let me just try and replicate this whole thing in SDO3, so it can be like a bit more modern version, right? And also I taking a look at the GitHub, there were a lot of issues with building the project, how am I supposed to use this, how to build on Windows and all that kind of thing. My intention is not really to be that like buildable in all platforms. Um, it's just mainly Linux. I haven't really worked on Windows or anything like that. But yeah, it's just like you just gotta have the SDL3 dependency, and then you can just do make, and then it builds. That's all you need. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing for like the past. I don't know when I started this project. C-Sort. Let me take a look at the first commit that I did. You said you were learning Unity. How long have you been learning Unity? Because that's something that I also want to do. Maybe learn some like game engine and stuff. That's also something that I'm really into. Next, all time. Okay, so this is just wrong, I guess. Next, next I have like 100 commits. It's been just a week, not any experience. And how is it? Is it easy enough, or do you think it's like actually kind of hard if you don't have any experience? Because that's something that I want to do as well. First commit, May 22nd. May 22nd. I thought it was longer than that. Okay. Do you have like any other experience with like other forms of programming? Like, have you done other programming, or is this like your first approach to doing any form of programming? Mm-mm-mm. Okay, and right now what I'm trying to do is I have these two options. First approach, to be honest, I really thought about programming what it is, but it isn't. I mean, yeah, when you first start, it's always going to be hard, right? It's a lot of new things that you have to learn, a lot of new concepts, and you kind of have to change the way you think to kind of adapt it to the computer and all that kind of stuff. But if you stuck with it, if you stick, sorry, with it, you'll eventually start to understand it, and you'll eventually won't have to think about the basics, the fundamentals of programming, and then you'll be able to get into more advanced stuff. And it's just a matter of keep going, doing a little bit every day. Just day by day, trying to learn something, trying to get some work done, and then as the weeks and months go by, you will really see how far you've gone, which is something that I've been doing for the same reason. I have been, I started a YouTube channel a couple of months ago. Actually, I think it was December of 2024, I think around this time, right? And I started to, this whole thing to program every day, yeah. So kind of end of December. To program every day and to just get better at it. That's what I wanted to do. And, now I'm here 6 months later. But yeah, so where was I? Yeah. So now I have two options in this program. That first allows me to pause. What's up? Do you have a link or your YouTube? Yeah, I can link you the YouTube. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Actually, I don't know if you can tell. You can tell me, how is the audio? Is it too much? Is it too low? Can you hear me like correctly? Because I don't really know how it is. Here it is. Boom. Whoops. It's okay, I can hear you. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, like I said, you can pause the thing, right? And then I want to do an option where I can skip the algorithm and go into the next one. But now, as you can see, it's kind of not really working as it's intended to. But yeah, and I have no idea why. So let's see if I can debug this thing. Where is it? Okay. Why do I have what? What are you talking about? Why do I have what is going on? Okay. So this is causing a segmentation fault. Uh-huh. Why? Can you step out? I cannot. Okay. So I am setting a new color somewhere in here. Array.hpp, not really what I want. Array.cpp. Set color. I have some work. I would meet you later. Bye. Have a great stream, dude. Thank you so much for hopping into the stream. It's been nice knowing you, and thanks for the follow. It really means a lot to me, to have somebody to talk to while I stream. So yeah, have a great time, and hopefully you can enjoy the Unity and programming thing. See you, bro. Okay, index set color 1. So I am marking this somewhere. Set color, and then mark. Mark done on mark. Okay. What time is it actually? 2 p.m. dude, what the fuck? Okay. Short view. Okay. So why are you causing a segmentation fault? Like what that reason specifically. Wait, that worked? What the fuck? Wait, that worked? What the fuck is going on? Not really working though. Okay, so it's doing like the next one. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Yo! What the hell just happened? Make remake. What the fuck was that? Okay, so if I do this, then I get a segmentation fault. So why if I debug this in here? Okay, now I get a segmentation fault. Like, I could never understand why this is happening. Why are you happening? Shortview.cpp. So how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I do this? Why do you do this, bro? This whole thing is fucked. Not gonna lie, this whole thing is fucked. Because if I don't do anything, then it's just gonna work right. Like if I don't try to skip it, it's just going to work. everything works fine besides the skip algorithm function. Very weird and inconsistent behavior. I don't know what's going on with it. I have no idea what's happening to it. Or up and down to increase and decrease the speed of the sorting. You can also use control. Down to increase or decrease the volume. With an algorithm, so you can skip to the next one. No. It's been executed. You can press space to pause the algorithm. Okay. You can press arrow right, skip to the next algorithm, although it's not working properly as it's an experimental feature. Why not? README updated README. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean I could have another way of doing this, right? Which is I could go ahead and say skip algorithm, right? Go ahead and skip algorithm and I say skip algorithm here. I say, right, instead of doing all this, let me do something. I set skip to true, and then I do this array sort delay, set delay to 0. Boom. This is what I do. This is literally all I do. And then if I do this, not really what I was looking for. Okay, that wasn't what I was hoping for. I mean, that is a way of doing it, you know. I got a segmentation fault. Why is that? Okay, let me boom, do this and then do this. Why did I get a segmentation fault? Got you. Array value time get max value. Return as array max size. Why are you giving me trouble? It shouldn't give me any issues. Well, it does. Well, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and say bit of a cheeky showing a lack of respect, politeness in a way that is amusing or appealing. Sure. Cheeky play. Instead of exiting the thread when skipping, it sets the delay to 0, so it sorts almost instantly. Works much better than what I had before. I mean, dude, whatever, right? If it gets the job done, then I don't care. I don't care. I don't have to, be super intelligent. I don't have to, come up with some crazy way. I tried to do that, to, be smart about it, to, be like, God damn it, this has to work because I'm technically, closing the thread. I'm destroying the array. I'm doing all these things and it's still not working properly. So, I set the duration to 0 and that's it. It works. It works. I don't have to care about anything else, right? So let me do something. I can go back to this. Let me go back to C++ 17 for whatever reason, right? What's the most latest C++ version? It's 23, right? 23, yes. Follow C++ 20. Well, anyways. Another one? What happened? Yep. Another segmentation fault. Huh. Interesting. 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 Yeah. Very interesting indeed. Get the flag out. Set delay to 0. Yeah, but then what happens if I, where's this? Is this mark array done? Resorting. If I escape, then right? I don't care about this. If array dot is sorted, then it'll do, finish array and then mark array done, which is not really what I want, but I rather want to, set skip to true. Right, so if it's like this, then sorry. If array dot is sorted and array dot is skipped, right, then you finish the array. Else you don't do anything. Just go into the next one. Great. So podcast is some key bindings. I'm going to a terminal by default and a handle. I don't know what I just did. What? Hello? Skip algorithm. Not what I want. I want to have. Dude, this is way too long. Okay, here. This is what I want to do. Where is my window? There we go. Boom. Okay, here we are. Step into is sorted. Return sorted. Right? Boom. Is skipped. Return skipped. Then I finish right. I do all this. I'll do all this. I'll do all this. Write our return. Well. Okay. Okay, I don't know what happened, but and then this just breaks, right? Yeah. Okay. It's not really working. Another thing that I have to fix is this right here, right? Do I have it in here? I do have it. Okay, so I have to put you as false. Like, there's no way. There's no way. Okay, so clean up. Yeah, whatever. Skip, not skip. Where's my skip function? Here. Okay, so if I don't know how I have it here. Right. You can get the fuck out of here. Okay. So check condition. Right? I'll do all this. If G stop thread, not stop thread. What are you? Stop thread. Okay, so I do have to get this one, right? Okay. Okay. What do I get in here? Function. Oh yeah. What I was in. Here. So if is, how is this called? G is paused. Okay. G is paused. Then G is paused equals G is paused. Whoops, sorry about that. Whoops, sorry about that again. I guess I would have to do this, right? It'll make sense if I do. Right, it would just make so much more sense since I have to do all that. Right? Right, well, not. Because I do get a segmentation fault caused by, I have no idea why. Okay. So why do you get a... And now it works. Why do you work now? Hold on. Code make, no. Don't wait. Make, remake, fuck it. Now you work? What? Sorry. Okay, I don't know about this one. Like, why do I get an error in this one? Like, how do I get to this point? No, it's not my problem right now. But something that I do want to fix is here. Big ass bird on the window. Selection short, right? Set condition. Is it selection short? I think it's insertion short. Okay, so insertion short, not this one. Check condition, maybe check condition. Here again. You know, I guess I don't lose much. Now the thing is, could I go back? I guess that could be an interesting thing to implement. I don't know if I'll do it. You know what I mean? Hello, where's my hello? Where's my, what just happened? Okay. Okay. Fixed. Condition on insertion short. I guess that makes sense. And then I guess it would also make sense to, you know, do this. No. I guess when I do say cleanup, right? Cleanups has to be here. Yeah. well, I guess what I have to say is in here, yeah, no, in here, right? I have to say if G is paused, yeah, if G is paused, then I do this, right? So if it is paused, then I unpause it. Okay, that looks better now. And then I should do the same thing here as well, on the cleanup thing. Okay, so if I do escape, right, this means I have to close this. So then let me do if G is paused, then toggle pause, right? So if I come in here and say this, right, I say this, then it works, right? Okay, fixed the skipping function. Run algorithm is paused. Now it checks if it's paused and toggles it to allow a proper skipping. Similar thing when trying to close the app and the algorithm is paused. Toggles it to allow a proper closing of the app. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. And without further ado, I think that's gonna be it. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. Today I might do some more work in the afternoon actually. I don't know, I'll have to see. But yeah. I think that's gonna be it for today. You can expect the video soon on YouTube. Soon in like 5 minutes or how long it takes for YouTube to upload this. But yeah. I guess I'll be back tomorrow, I think. I'll try to keep the schedule consistent, but I don't know if I'll be able to. I'll try my best, but yeah, that's all I have to say. See you guys tomorrow.